Hey guys, welcome to the Mermaid Mama. My name's Hannah, and if this is your first time here, I do videos on conscious parenting, veganism, waste-free living, minimalism, and tropical living. So if you guys have watched my last video, you will know that I gave birth to my second child, this little baby here who's having a really good sleep. Her name is Ocean. Her middle name is Rose, Ocean Rose, and she was born 5 weeks ago on February the 28th at 9:48 p.m. So yeah, that's why I haven't been doing as many videos lately, obviously, because I've been adjusting to having 2 children and taking care of a newborn baby, which has been really incredible. So I just thought I would talk a little bit today about postpartum care, some of the things that I've been doing to take care of myself, and you know, how my body is recovering after labor basically. So I had a natural drug-free labor. I will link the video because there is a birth video with footage, including footage from the birth, that I did a couple of weeks ago. So I will link that in the description below. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It was such an emotional video to put together. It was just, it was really special to watch it and to be able to, you know, see the footage from that incredible moment, especially right after she was born. It was such a special moment. So I had if you haven't watched it, then I had a completely natural labor, no medications at all, at the birth center at the Gold Coast Hospital. So the birth center is a place specifically for women who want to have a natural birth, and it was an uncomplicated labor, and it was not too long as well. The labor, the active part of the labor, was 6 hours, so it was definitely a lot shorter than my previous labor, which was with Romeo, my 5-year-old son. That was 17 hours, so it was a lot shorter. So yeah, so it was uncomplicated. I went into labor naturally, and I did really, the birth was certainly not easy, but it was straightforward. So there were a few things. So I had to stay in hospital for 2 nights because Ocean weighed 4 pounds 7 when she was born. Hey, buddy.
No, 2 nights, 3 nights.
No, I stayed for 2 nights.
Yeah, it was 3 nights.
And sit down on the bed, buddy. And that was just, I was fine. Hey, bud. That was just because Ocean was, you know, quite a little baby, and they just wanted to make sure that she was fine. But she was perfectly fine, and her size is just genetic. I'm quite little too. I'm 5 feet tall, and I'm quite little. I don't know what I currently weigh, but I've always been pretty petite, so it makes sense for me to have a little baby. So that's what happened there, and she's perfectly fine. She's growing so well now. She's actually put on over a kg since birth, which is huge. And so the labor I had, I did have to have some stitches because I had 2nd degree tearing. It wasn't that bad though. It was quite minor for tearing, and compared to my labor with Romeo was a much bigger baby. He was 7 pounds 10, and I had nearly 4th degree tearing with him. So the tearing this time round was a lot, like, it was not as bad, which was really good. So the tearing, I actually recovered really well from it. I was considering using witch hazel inside the pads that I had. You do need to have thick pads postpartum, because you usually bleed from, you know, from birth up till about 6 weeks. I actually stopped bleeding about 2 weeks after the birth, which was really, really wonderful. And I really didn't lose a lot of blood post-birth as well. Hey Toto, this is Toto. Sounds like Bubba's waking up. And so I didn't have too many complications with that. Other than that, I also did get a hemorrhoid, which was really painful, and I'm not entirely sure why I got that. It was potentially just her noises are so cute. She's just slowly waking up. She's gonna need a breastfeed soon. So I was just really gentle with my body, and I put a little bit of aloe vera on that just to soothe it, and I just let it heal on its own. I also purchased I think it's called a donut cushion. It's basically an inflatable ring. It looks like a kid's swimming ring, and you just sit on it, and it's wonderful postpartum. Even if you have a complete, like, you don't tear or you don't have any other issues to deal with post-birth, I highly recommend getting these things. They are just so wonderful, because you know, there is a lot to recover from. You have pushed a baby out of your body, and so you want to be really gentle with your body. So I had that, and you also do a lot of sitting post-birth, because you're breastfeeding all the time, looking after a newborn baby. So that was really wonderful, and I found that my healing was a lot quicker after using that donut cushion. So that was really wonderful. Hey buddy. And I was also continued to drink some raspberry leaf tea and a concoction of other teas. I can't remember what they all are now, but I just put them all into the same jar. I purchased them at a local organic shop in bulk, and I just put them all into one tea, and I was drinking that probably every day up until about a week or two ago, and I'm still having it occasionally. And that was really wonderful, and that was just to really help with, you know, help heal my body from birth. There are a lot of studies that have been done recently that have actually shown that your body can take up to a full year to completely recover from birth. So, you know, be gentle with your body and allow it to heal, and do what you need to do to heal your body. I was not able to do bed rest or anything like that. I didn't need to do bed rest, but I wasn't able to do it because I have a 5-year-old and I'm homeschooling him, and so life is fairly hectic, and not hectic, but it's active. He does sometimes nap during the day, but I don't get a lot of sleep time in when baby's sleeping. So I'm pretty tired at the moment. You can probably see that I'm pretty tired, but I'm actually feeling really good. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I'm doing at the moment, that I have been doing for the past 4 years, is eating a whole foods plant-based diet. And I can't even tell you the difference that it has made this time around as far as energy goes, compared to when I was pregnant with Romeo, and also postpartum with Romeo when I was not vegan. And I was eating a lot more processed foods then than I do now. I eat some processed foods, but mostly whole foods, and it's made all the difference in the world. I have so much energy, even though I have a 5-year-old and a newborn, and I feel really good. My immunity is really strong, and I bounce back really quickly. I've bounced back from this labor very quickly, which has been incredible. So that's kind of about the birth, and some other things that I'm doing. So your whole foods, plant-based diet, definitely get in lots of alkaline foods like fruit and vegetables. I am craving a lot of roast vegetables at the moment. I don't use oil on them. I just put herbs and spices on them. So that's been really good. I'm still definitely craving slightly different foods than before I was pregnant. I'm definitely craving a lot more vegetables than fruits, but I'm still having fruits every day. So I start the day with a green juice, basically a ton of kale, organic kale, and then a pineapple. We have pineapple in it as well, and Nick and Romeo and I each have the same green juice. So that's how I'm starting the day at the moment. And I'm also still taking supplements. I did a what I eat in the day video not long ago when I was pregnant, which I'll link in the description below because it shows which supplements I'm taking. But basically I have also added to that spirulina, which I take in capsule form, and it's amazing. We all take them, they're incredible, highly recommend it. So I take spirulina, B12 spray, zinc, iron tablets, which I didn't need pre-pregnancy, possibly don't need now, but I'm still taking them because, you know, I am still burning a lot of energy breastfeeding, so I do need to be extra gentle with my body. And I also take vitamin C every day. It's a natural vitamin C, it's not a synthetic one. It's really important to use that. Hey Bubba. She's so beautiful. Hey baby. So those are the supplements that I'm taking, and I also take, and I highly recommend this, it's such a simple thing to do, but apple cider vinegar. I have about 2 to 3 capfuls of it diluted in a cup of water, and I have that every night before I go to bed, and it's amazing. I can't even tell you how incredible it is. It helps with immunity, it helps keep your skin clear. It's really wonderful for detoxing your body as well. If you are going through a detox, you're wanting to detox, it's just wonderful for supporting your body through that. So I highly recommend it. I've noticed a big difference in my immunity since I have been taking that, because as I said, I'm not getting a lot of sleep at the moment, and I'm also doing a lot during the day as well. So it's and I still have energy, and I still feel good. I still feel really good, and I still have enough energy to do everything that I need to do. So highly recommend those things. And I think with postpartum, the biggest thing for me is really getting sunshine, fresh air, and drinking plenty of water. And you know, having some time to yourself as well, if possible. I know that's really hard to do that, but I know sometimes you want to hibernate for weeks and weeks, and I think there is a nice period of being able to do that. And some days I really just love staying at home, staying in bed and playing board games and reading, and maybe watching a movie with Romeo and Ocean, obviously. But it's really important for me to get some sunshine and get some fresh air every single day, and that really helps to help me heal from the labor. And getting a little bit of exercise, very gentle exercise every day, is also really important. I really love walking. I love yoga, but I had to stop doing yoga throughout the pregnancy because I twisted my pelvic bone, and it was extremely painful, and that was in the at the start of the 3rd trimester, and I had to stop doing yoga while it healed, which it did heal really quickly, but I had to stop doing yoga, and they suggested not starting it again until postpartum, a few weeks postpartum. So I'm going to start doing that probably in the next few days. Very gentle exercises. So be very gentle on your body, but don't be afraid to get outside and get some, you know, sunshine and some fresh air on your skin. It's really lovely and really wonderfully healing. She's slowly waking up. She's still sleepy. Hey baby. Hey. Hi. You had such a good sleep. Ooh. So I'm just going to briefly touch on breastfeeding, and I will probably do a whole video on this because I'm so passionate about it, and I love breastfeeding. Okay. Speaking of which, and I breastfed Romeo for over 2 years. I stopped when he was 2 years and 3 months old, and it's just such a wonderful experience. It's the best food for your baby, and it's such a bonding experience. You connect so much with your babies when you breastfeed them. And so I was really looking forward to breastfeeding again with Ocean. I was really lucky with Romeo. I didn't have any issues other than a small bout of thrush on my breasts, which Romeo also had in his mouth, and that was when he was a few weeks old, and that healed pretty quickly. But other than that, I didn't really have any issues, and I'm really grateful for that. And I haven't had any this time round really either. So as far as breastfeeding goes, I would definitely get lots of advice. There are so many wonderful lactation consultants, breastfeeding experts out there, usually within, you know, like reach out through your midwife or whoever's assisting you through the pregnancy or the birth, and ask about, you know, who's available out there to help you through this journey, because it's well worth sticking through any problems or issues or difficulties that you come up against. It's just so well worth it if that's what you desire to do. So one of the most important things about breastfeeding is to get that latch right. Make sure that they're latching properly, because if they don't latch properly, not only will they not consume enough milk, but they also will hurt your nipples, and it will be really, really painful, and then you won't want to breastfeed, and it's really hard. So Ocean had a couple of issues with latching in the first 2 days, and I had one of my nipples got quite sore, but we figured it out. I figured it out really quickly how to get her to latch properly, again, and I remembered from Romeo, and then it was all great from there, and my nipples healed really quickly. And if you do get sore breasts or any sores anywhere like that while breastfeeding, same as baby, put breast milk on it. Honestly, that's how you can fix it, and then you're not putting toxic chemicals onto baby, onto your body, that are going into your body, and then that are going to transfer onto baby when they breastfeed. So that's a wonderful tip. Is the same with things like cradle cap or any skin issues with them. Put breast milk on it. It's incredibly healing. Breast milk is amazing. And so once I figured out that latch, it was great, and she's a really great feeder. She's got a really big appetite, which is fantastic. And the other thing is that I have quite a big milk supply, which I did the same with Romeo. And so what does tend to happen is that the milk comes out really quickly, and sometimes it's a little bit too much for Ocean's mouth to take in, and she does tend to gulp quite a lot of air because there's too much for her coming out. So she does get a lot more wind than she probably should be and bringing in. So she just needs to be burped a lot more. Oh, honey pie, what is it? And so what you can do with that is that if you do have a lot of milk and it's coming out too fast, when it starts coming out really fast, it's called the letdown. It's when they start feeding, usually a couple of minutes into it. You can just take them off the breast and put, you know, a flannel or a little towel or something over it to, you know, soak up that extra milk, let it come out, and once it's calmed down a bit, you know, put them on the breast again. And that way they're not gulping in all that air, and it's a lot nicer for them. It can be a little bit stressful for them when they're gulping in all that breast milk all in one go. So that's a little tip to make sure that, you know, the breastfeeding goes really well. But if you guys have any questions about breastfeeding, post it below. Like I said, I will do a video just on breastfeeding because I'm so passionate about it, and I'm planning on breastfeeding for years, basically as long as we're both able to. So that's breastfeeding, and at the moment that's all I can think of. And with postpartum care as well, I forgot to mention before that probiotics are really, really important. I take them year round. I just take them all the time, but instead of in capsule form, I consume them in the form of sauerkraut or kombucha, and I have either one of those and sometimes both on a daily basis. It's wonderful. It's just such a wonderful probiotics are just really incredible for your gut health, and gut health is basically just the base of your immunity, basically. So it's just a really, really, really good way of ensuring that you get all the good bacteria that you need in your gut so that your body can work properly and it can flush out all the toxins that it needs to. So that's really, really important. So I take one of those every single day, and that's really, really wonderful. So that's just something else that I do. And as I said, just drink plenty of water, you know, get rest if you can, and try to get in something every day that makes you feel really good. For for me, like I said, it's sunshine, getting out into the sunshine. And the only thing that I'm really struggling with at the moment is that I can't swim for about 6 weeks post-birth, because you want to really avoid getting any sort of vaginal infection post-birth, and it doesn't really feel like the thing that you want to do, to be honest, as well, after pushing a baby out. So I'm not going in the water other than in the shower, and that's been really it's been really tough. So I think there's only 1 week to go now, and then I can have a swim in the ocean, which will be amazing. So yeah, I hope you guys found that really helpful. Just a reminder that I post really regularly, almost daily, on Instagram. So if you guys haven't checked out my Instagram account, here it is. So go check it out and follow me. And I also have a Facebook page, which I will pop here. And make sure you watch the birth video. And there's going to be plenty of videos to come up regarding how to care for yourself as a breastfeeding mum, and also how to, you know, ensure that baby is well cared for, all of that great stuff. So thanks guys, love you guys, bye.